University campus, teacher training college. Whatever the reasons for Vann Molyvann's despoir in 1965, we can almost be thankful that the preliminary design was never built, as the final design surpasses it in many ways. We must use our lost the shot. It will also be the lost for me here in Phnom Penh. He SOID in a letter to Vladimir Bodiansky, the engineer with whom he worked on the Notional Sports Complex. It was Bodiansky wrote to Vann Molyvann in early 1965 to confirm that they would be the project leaders, with architects JeanClaude and Claude Duchemin and urban designer Marc as their assistants. On IV Org 10, Vladimir Bodiansky received a letter from France's Town Planning and Housing Mission. Bad news, it said. Foreign AIIairs cabled Phnom Penh last night to confirm the elimination of Vann Molyvann's project. Pretext design not adopted to the program. But from the tone of my informer, it would appear that politics played a role. On the same day, Vann Molyvann and his wife wrote to Vladimir Bodiansky indicating that they wished to leave Cambodia. The reason for this desire to move abroad remains obscure. What is clear is that Vann Molyvann was acclaimed internationally for the Notional Sports Complex completed in 1964, and that Vladimir Bodiansky tried to get him nominated as a United Nations expert in 1965. Competing against Vann Molyvann for the campus was the team of Leroy and Mondet, the two French architects who had designed the master plan for the campus 6 years earlier, which was later modified by Vann Molyvann and Unprocom PHKA. Leroy and Mondet had also designed the main university building on the campus. Why they later stopped competing for the teacher training college design is not clear, but they were involved in some kind of scandal. Leroy is also believed to have died in 1965. Although Mondet apparently continued to work in Cambodia, Vann Molyvann's final design, inaugurated in 1972 after he left Cambodia, shares a number of points in common with the earlier design, a square main building and a complex of moots. But the final composition has exploded, with the main building, the library and other rooms expressing themselves independently, although free of the initial symmetry. It retains homogeneity, thus some building materials are used throughout and a footbridge connects the buildings. Moots are everywhere. The entrance of what is now the Institute of Languages consists of a monumental bridge, complete with nagas reminiscent of Angkorian temples. If the site was restored to its initial design, the buildings would all be surrounded by water. All buildings are raised off the ground. The main building, which has a carport underneath, is like an inverted pyramid, each floor overhanging the lower one. This creates a strong geometrical effect and also reinforces light and shade in the facades, contributing to a strong sculptural effect, as if extractions and cavities have been made in a primitive cube. It also has a reason. Each floor provides shade for the lower one. The reinforced concrete roof of the main building is an incredible coveted structure reminiscent of honeycomb. The walls, where they exist, are composed of diverse red brick panels, sunscreens and reinforced concrete in strong contrast both in texture and in color. The external staircase is a fire escape sculpted into the composition like those of Le Corbusier. Inside the main building is an immense hall with staircases, balconies and columns with light penetrating indirectly from the facades. It is somewhat like the SKD brewery, with offices suspended around the central spoche, but far more bold and daring. The teaching labs are a fantastic composition of individual structures positioned on reclining columns and represent yet another experiment in roof composition. The connecting passageway is bordered with a wall pierced with holes. Vonn Molyvann said the small library was inspired by Zero Straw Hat. Its circular concrete roof indented with rays seems to be floating on a circular glass wall. Inside these buildings, light is filtered by the ingenious location of windows, so that one is never blinded nor troubled by intense contrasts of light. This lost work of AIIairs before Norodom Sihanouk's overthrow uses 011, the devices he developed over the years in responding to the Khmer, finding his own particular style. But here it is token to such an extreme that one could almost qualify these buildings as new Khmer Baroque architecture, barely 10 years separate this from the Council of Ministers. But they could almost be the work of two different architects. Vann Molyvann left Cambodia before the teacher training college was inaugurated in 1972.